Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. Today I wanted to continue following up with Classic Plus and talk about some of the features that I want the most. I already laid out the timeline for Classic Plus, when I think it's coming and why I think it is coming, and I just wanted to talk about the features that I think are very important to Classic Plus and a Classic Plus that I would love to see, dive into, and play. And I think it comes down to nailing these features really, really well and giving the players essentially what I believe they want the most. As someone who plays all the time and talks to people all the time, I think I have a pretty good gist of it, just on the general scale. Obviously, when you're talking about this, it's a lot of opinion, and I think you could ask 100 people what Classic Plus is to them, and you would get 100 different answers, but here is mine. So the very first one is we have to have new original content. Karazhan Crypts, Scarlet Enclave, great examples of new original content added to Classic WoW. But when we go even further, there are so many zones that are kind of like there as question marks that could be added to, could be created, could be built upon, that are just there with either story or location, or just like there are so many places that are just in between mountains that are just a ginormous gray area that could be done. There's one between the burning steppes over here, like there's just a giant plateau between Elwyn Forest, Burning Steppes, and Searing Gorge, like right here-ish is where it is, and they even used it in like the dueling arena for the PTR. Like if you were on the SOD PTR, you could teleport over there and do it. There's also one right here in between Ungoro, Thousand Needles, and Veralis, like right in between where all these mountain ranges meets. I think it's right here at this point, but there are just so many plateaus that could be extra zones added into the game. And not to mention, everything that we got in the Cataclysm is something that could be added here with a much different spin and a much different twist. Like Hyjal, which we explored with the Ashbringer questline. We actually got to go to Hyjal, which was really freaking cool. Nice to see that being used. We have down here south Oldham as well. Definitely could be used and taken on a different route than Cataclysm. We obviously have the Caverns of Time, which is a huge gold mine for anything they want to do. You could send us forward, you could send us backwards, you could send us literally anywhere throughout all of time. Who said you can't go forward, right? We've always gone backwards. Why not go forward? Especially now that we have 20 years of content to push us forward. You could have a lot of fun things with that as well. Then over here on Eastern Kingdoms, one of the most wanted ones is Grim Batol. You can utilize Grim Batol as an entire zone, as an entire dungeon, as an entire anything you want with all the red dragons out there. And you could even give Twilight Highlands, this coastline area, you could throw that in there as well. Then obviously Quel'Thalas, elves, everything north here that becomes TBC. Definitely room for an insane zone. You could go even further with like Hearthglen and turn this little upper area into a Scarlet occupied area and make use of that. Then Gilneas as well, down south here. Like, there are so many zones that could be completely transformed and utilized in a new classic way that could spin it and be really awesome. And Turtle has done a great job with this. Epoch has done a great job with this. Just legitimate new content. And the best part is it doesn't have to be end-game content. This content can be like a new zone to level when you're like 35 to 40. Or 40 to 50. Like 40 to 60 is such a grueling grind. It really takes the wind out of your sails because it's like go to this zone for a day, don't even get a level. So adding new quests anywhere there, adding new 5-man content with some decent pieces of gear that you could take into in-game farming your Priebus would be awesome. And it'd be really cool to go after and go do, like similar to like how people still farm Maraudon for Princess in Phase 1 for their rings or for the dagger if you really want it. Just really cool stuff like that that you see here would be awesome to take forward into it. So that's why I have my new original content at number 1, and there are so many things that you could do with that. Then my second point is class balance without breaking PvP. So in Season of Discovery, it went way too far. They added so many new abilities, so many runes, and while it was fun for experimenting and learning and seeing what we could do, I think it's too much, and I would love to dial that down a lot. Maybe give some new abilities, that's okay. Learn them, make them class, make them an adventure to go out and get, but don't make it so much so that it's unbalanceable, and then it completely ruins the PvP side of the game, because SOD did that. Like, PvP became a one-shot because we were so PvE powerful. I will say that they did actually, when we look at like AQ, Nax, we look at those damage charts, everything was within like 5%. We actually attained pretty close to true class balance. So it didn't really matter what specs you brought. People could play what they wanted. And that's something that, like, when we look at Anniversary, you see the meta of everyone bringing 35 warriors to raid and just turbo steamrolling a raid. It really is like, damn. Yeah, that's not really exciting because warriors are the best. So having a nice diversity, being able to bring like 5 mages, 5 warlocks, Elite Shams, Shadow Priest, pretty much all the hybrid classes, their DPSs are the best here in Classic. So making the hybrid classes, the meme specs, if you will, doable, I think would be really good for the game and allow people to be able to play literally anything and have fun doing it and not get hit with the meta gatekeeping at in-game that usually makes those people quit. The next thing I want to talk about is faction pride / the war. Bring back the war in Warcraft. Give us like a legitimate PvP zone where your entire goal is to fight each other. Like, you can turn any of those zones into a massive war. I actually think Landfall in Pandaria is a great example of this. It makes you want to fight the opposing faction. And it is entirely built upon fighting the opposing faction. You could do a very good job of making a zone in Classic. Maybe make resources be gathered 2x when you're in that zone. Incentivize the players to go out there and fight each other to get it. Incentivize the people to farm those resources. And if you do that, I think will lead to some really awesome world PvP that people can partake in. Now, I've said it before that I think one mega server with war mode is the best place for this, but it's so hard to balance that out because I see what happens with our PvP servers and everyone goes to the 99% one. Like, one faction always wins and it just becomes dead after that without Blizzard forcing faction balance on PvP servers, which causes a whole plethora of issues as well. So it's just, I don't know what the best solution for something like that is, but I want to see faction pride back. I want to see war. I want to see the war in Warcraft. And I also want them to keep factions exclusive and give us a lot of reasons to play one faction. Like, example, in Classic, it is Shaman and Paladin. Now, in SOD, I was all for Dwarf Shamans being added, Undead Paladins being added because it was new. It'd be really hype. It'd be really awesome to play those those classes and races in a Classic game. However, it just, like, it ruins that faction exclusivity, and I was for it in SOD because we had so many changes that it made them super unique, and I would have loved to give Paladin a whirl here in SOD and try it out without having to be the opposing faction. So, like, that was my reasoning and rationale for it, and why I was really hyped when we got the hints of it. But it just, like, I want that if we have changes, right? If we have significant changes to Paladin and Shaman, I would love to see those be playable for each side, and then do something else for faction exclusivity. Then my final talking point is cosmetic monetization over any in-game power monetization. So I am all for having our collection log linked to retail. I am all for having our retail houses being linked to our classic houses. Let people collect, let people explore, let people play World of Warcraft any way they want and interact with other people. It shouldn't matter if it's retail, it shouldn't matter if it's classic. Let people play the game together, let people collect for those game modes. They, very similar to like Remix, like they send out a remix and you can get all kinds of cool cosmetics and it's just a season. Why not use player housing as a way to link Classic Plus to retail World of Warcraft and allow people to interact, allow people to play with each other, allow people to see each other that way. And then you can monetize it by buying cool exclusive housing things or whatever you want cosmetically here. Put in transmog, let people design their characters, let people have fun with that, and then it brings all the people that want to play for cosmetics into your game as well. And it keeps out the pay to win features like buying a boost, buying any of that stuff. Absolutely not. Keep that out of here. And then you get your monetization solution so Blizzard can make its money, and we can have a gameplay integrity and be able to do all the fun stuff that we love to do here in Classic World of Warcraft. So anyway, guys, that is it for what I most want in Classic Plus. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, opinions, what you want your Classic Plus to look like, and what it could possibly bring in the future. And if you have any questions, anything you'd like to add, definitely drop it down below, and I'll do my best to address them. And until next time, I'll see you later. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.